The Autograph Hound sounded really brilliant. The concept for this is something that I would absolutely love. But unfortunately, I feel like the execution of it isn't very good. Donald Duck doesn't come across as being very likable, which is weird because normally I love Donald Duck, even when he's being angry and agitated and a little bit annoying. I still love him. But in this one, I couldn't really side with him because he is an autograph hound, if you like. He is trying to get the autographs of various stars, including Greta Garbo and Shirley Temple and some others, Mickey Rooney, and that's something that I find is a really brilliant concept, and I think it could be a really fascinating thing, seeing these almost caricatures of these famous names. And as a former autograph collector, the subject matter interests me very much. But I just feel like the execution of this narrative wasn't anywhere near what I expected. Maybe I read the description, elevated the concept so highly in my mind that it was never going to live up to my expectations. But I don't necessarily think that that is the case. I just feel like the pacing was a little bit off. Donald Duck's behaviour wasn't that appealing. The character of Shirley Temple I thought was very, very sweet. And it does take an interesting turn where people recognise Donald Duck, and Donald Duck is the celebrity because obviously Donald Duck is famous in his own right. And I kind of like that aspect of Donald Duck not just being a character in the short, but being Donald Duck, the famous Disney character. And I think that that was an interesting thing, and that was a fun concept to explore, and they kind of did that quite well. But it just wasn't as good as I was expecting. And it could have been, it could have had the potential to be something I absolutely loved. So I did feel a little bit disappointed, but it wasn't terrible. It was enjoyable enough. It was released in 1939, directed by Jack King, and we have the usual brilliant voice cast with Clarence Nash as Donald, Billy Bletcher as the security guard, and Sara Berner as Greta Garbo. It's fun. It's a really fascinating concept that I could have loved. I think maybe I had just hailed it a little bit too highly in my mind before I'd even seen it. So it didn't live up to my expectations, but it's not a bad short. It's a fun concept, reasonably well executed, but not the biggest fan of the pacing. Could have been better, but I appreciate its existence because it was still a fun idea that I think worked reasonably well, just not quite as well as what I had hoped.